For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia Syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal and murder brought it all crashing down.
Clark would have threatened him. Go and kill him. If you don't, I'm going to kill you and your wife and your son.
This is Mr. Asia, A Forgotten History. All episodes now available on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
An early 12-0 deficit and a late red card, not enough to prevent the Blues from edging Matatū 26-19 in an excellent final at Eden Park last night. Blues coach Willie Walker is with us. Back-to-back. Willie, congratulations. Is the second more satisfying than the first, or are they both equally satisfying?
I think they're pretty similar in terms of where they rank. Obviously a different group to the crew we had last year, but it's still special in the same breath. We worked really hard for it. The girls worked really hard last night, and we were put under pressure early on from Matatū, but we stuck in there, and we talked about that at half-time, that we had to play through 80 minutes to get a result, and we came out on top, so yeah.
Yeah, Matatū did start better, didn't they? 12-0 ahead after 20 minutes. Any reason for the slightly slow start from your side?
No, I think we were starved of ball, and Matatū held on to it for long periods in that first 20 minutes. So we knew, though, that if we got hold of the ball, and we showed that, we had two scrums, I think, scored two tries kind of back-to-back, and we knew that was going to be the case. And once we were able to build a few phases and create a few opportunities, we kind of pulled away a little bit at the end, but it still was a little bit too tight for my liking.
I want to get to the closing stages in a moment, but when you were down and then came back, how big are your experienced heads out there when cool heads and experience are required?
Yeah, huge, I think, but it wasn't just our experienced girls that stepped up. We've got a young girl at the back, Braxton McGee, and she has some special moments as well. So just across the board, just really happy with the way, obviously, everybody performed and contributed to what was a successful season. Yeah,
what a moment for your teenage fullback, Braxton Sorensen McGee. 10 minutes to go. She goes the length of the field to score a try. Yeah. She's a pretty special talent, eh?
Yeah, she is. I think we talked last night around generational players. Obviously, we've got a number of those in our team, and it's quite a cool feeling. But to have somebody obviously starting out her career, footing it with the likes of Portia Woodman, who obviously her accolades speak for themselves, it's a special place to be. And I know that these young ladies are really enjoying that opportunity to be alongside some of the legends of the game.
So how were the emotions as Matatū attacked your line late on while you were down to 14 players?
Yeah, she was pretty tense, I think, obviously up in the box. We talked about it at half-time. We needed to be disciplined, especially around that breakdown area. And the girls just dug deep, showed a lot of heart, and we talked around how if we needed inspiration, just look around at the circle and the people across from you and just dig and work hard for each other. And that's what they did. It was really awesome to see.
I know you were firm favourites going in, top qualifiers, home advantage, that sort of thing. But did you get the challenge you expected from Matatū last night?
Yeah, we definitely did. We knew that they're a quality side, a number of Black Ferns in there. They obviously beat us last time round, so we knew we'd be in for a tough old night, and finals footy's a little bit different to the rest. So everybody lifts their game, and we just needed to make sure that we controlled as much as we could around our own stuff, and we got the bounce of the ball on the night.
I just want to ask about Carlos Spencer too. He's obviously part of your coaching group. I saw him cheering Braxton on as she was sprinting down the field. A couple of expletives in there, if I read his lips correctly as well. Have you enjoyed having Carlos Spencer as part of your crew?
Oh, look, I'm obviously very lucky to have somebody of Carlos's experience and ilk, and just the way he sees the game, his vision and his innovation. I think it's invaluable, his experience, and the girls really thrive on on that knowledge. Yeah, he gets a little bit tense in the box, mate. That's for sure. But well, I actually had to get him off the sideline from last year. He wasn't allowed back down there, so it's a lot easier to keep control of him in the box.
That's so good. And of course, now you meet the Waratahs on Thursday, the first crossover match between the New Zealand and Australian champions. How much are you looking forward to that game?
Yeah, it's huge. I think the whole idea of it, the opportunity for the exposure of what potentially Aupiki looks like next year, if we can, involve the Aussies and grow this competition to what it needs to be able to continue to improve the game for these ladies is something special, and we're looking forward to it. Again, it's just a different challenge. We get used to playing these same teams every year, but to be able to play against an Australian side who will bring something different, it's really exciting. Where
is that game being played, Willie?
It's going to be at North Harbour Stadium, 705 North Harbour Stadium.
Good stuff. We'll put a ring around that. But you still managed to have you and the team managed to celebrate a little bit last night, even with that game coming up Thursday? Yeah,
we had a little debrief. And then, we understand that we've got a bit of work to do before then, but, mate, the girls deserve to celebrate what has been a really tough season. And the main goal was to win this Aupiki final, and they deserve all the opportunity they can to have a couple of quiet lemonades and reflect on what they've actually achieved.
Absolutely, they do. As do you. Congratulations on going back to back, Willie. Thanks for the chat this afternoon. All the best against the Waratahs on Thursday.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.